More enjoyable than a kick to the side of the head and shorter than a 4-week suspension. This is Think Tank, powered by Vodacom. I'm Zelim with Tank Lanning. Tank, some ugly acts of violence on the field on Saturday night. Sharks versus Chiefs, Kings Park. Bismarck du Plessis, what was he thinking?
Yeah, it was untidy, and it's not exactly the ad the sport wants to go out right now. I thought all three incidents were very unsavoury and all deserved of a red card. For me, it probably speaks to the mentality of South African rugby, which worries me slightly, is that it's almost got a schoolyard bully mentality. If we can't beat them with wit, then we bring the fight. We've gained a reputation for that sort of thing, and I thought I saw a little bit of that on Saturday, where both Bismarck and Frans Steyn getting frustrated, things not going their way, and they just go to the fight instead of trying to win witfully.
Right. It's a World Cup year. Do you think that plays at all factors into this equation in terms of players maybe not really focused on the Super Rugby campaign and got one eye on what's coming up? Maybe a little frustration creeping in there?
Yeah, well, I suppose the guys, they certainly don't want to get injured, and maybe this is the one way to get it right. You take a 4-week suspension, you can't get injured. Yeah, so perhaps that's one way of looking at it. Whether it's a World Cup year and how it's influencing how people play, I'm not so sure. I just think it's actually slightly inherent in South African rugby, which worries me. And as I said earlier, I think it's why we've got the reputation for being slightly spiteful. And I think we saw a bit of that come through on Saturday. And it's something that Gary Gold's really going to have a proper look at it in the Sharks camp.
Is there such a big disparity between the way New Zealanders play and South Africans in terms of the skill levels? Is there that much of a disparity between us?
I think we've been obsessed with size, from the get-go. It's been the kind of rugby that we've played right from the get-go, So, big farmers who are stronger than other people in the rest of the world, and we played a really physical upfront game. Obviously, the world's changed, and now people go to gym, and not everyone are farmers, So, the physicality and the size factor is now not such a big issue. And I think what's happened down under is that you've got guys with size, but they've also got skill and pace. And I think we're seeing that come to the party. And whereas South Africa is almost still playing that sort of stump car stuff, where we've got big bruising inside centres instead of skillful guys looking to offload.
Speaking about those big guys from down under, or New Zealand, you've got Israel Folau, you've got Ma'a Nonu at the Waratahs and the Hurricanes. Both those teams had a big weekend. Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, good. Sure, but because you got the Satyrs coming to the fore, Chiefs playing some fantastic rugby. They were out without their first choice 3 centres, and they still, they probably should have won the game. And then Nonu and Folau just so good on the weekend. And I think, speaking to that size factors, but they've also got skill and pace. Okay, less so Nonu. Right. But apart from that intercept pass that he threw, there were some nuances to his game. He's got a little grubber. His rest of his passing game is pretty good, but he is a blunderbuss, and he sucks in defenders, as does Nadala. For the Satyrs, he was a bit selfish on the weekend. Sometimes you could have got someone away, but what those guys do, like a skeleton, is that they focus the attentions of 3 defenders so it gets someone else away. And I think that's what we're trying to see, what we are seeing from the likes of the Tars and the Canes.
Right, Hurricanes are the only unbeaten team left in the competition, top of the log. They also have the best defence in the comp, only conceded 70 points so far. Is that the sort of unseen element to their game that's taken them to the top?
Look, I've had a love affair. It's not so secret with the Canes since day dot. I think they're a wonderful side that plays a great brand of rugby. I think what they've added is a steely edge to their defence. Right. Ironically, because they've always had the flair. Conrad Smith is a genius. End of story. He's such a good centre, and him and Nonu are forming a great pair. Franks is a bit of a bully boy up front, but they've got a scrum now, and they defend. So you add that to a side that also has flair and skill and speed, and I think they're the guys to watch this year.
South Africa is not the only nation resting players for the World Cup. The New Zealand sides also have to rest their guys 2 weeks. How do you see that factoring into the Hurricanes specifically going forward? Because I think other than Corey Jane, they haven't rested anybody.
Yeah, so that will be a factor, because that'll be both centres, Nonu and Smith. It'll be Franks. Probably the list is endless. So, they just seem to be able to unearth gems. So they rest the big guys, and everyone thinks, well, it's probably going to be a problem area. And the next thing, you've got someone who's probably going to be knocking on the All Black door at the end of the season, just gets unearthed. It's amazing the kind of talent that they produce. So, sure, it'll be a factor, but probably a factor in that we'll see someone else come to the fore.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 7, guys. Be sure to check out vodacom.co/rugby. We'll see you next time. Cheers.